The establishment of Noongar corporations held immense promise for the Aboriginal people of southwestern Australia. These entities were envisioned as vehicles for self-determination, economic empowerment, and the preservation of cultural heritage. They were intended to manage native title lands and resources, generate wealth for the community, and provide essential services in areas like health, education, and housing. The initial optimism surrounding these corporations was palpable, reflecting a deep-seated desire for self-governance and a brighter future. The Noongar people, with a history marked by colonization and dispossession, saw these corporations as a means of reclaiming control over their ancestral lands and shaping their own destiny. The corporations were designed to be community-driven, ensuring that the benefits of native title flowed directly to the Noongar people. The potential for economic development, coupled with the revitalization of cultural practices, created a sense of hope and anticipation for a more prosperous and culturally vibrant future. However, the path towards self-determination has been fraught with challenges. Many Noongar corporations have grappled with internal conflicts, governance issues, and financial mismanagement. These shortcomings have undermined the ability of these organizations to fulfill their intended purpose and have led to widespread disillusionment within the Noongar community. The initial promise of empowerment and prosperity has, in many cases, given way to frustration and disappointment. The complex interplay of internal and external factors has contributed to the struggles faced by Noongar corporations. Understanding these challenges is crucial for identifying pathways towards reform and ensuring that these organizations can effectively serve the needs of the Noongar community. The journey towards self-determination requires ongoing reflection, adaptation, and an unwavering commitment to the principles of good governance and accountability. A recurring theme in the struggles of Noongar corporations is the breakdown of governance structures. Lack of transparency, conflicts of interest, and inadequate oversight have plagued many of these organizations, hindering their ability to effectively manage resources and deliver services to the community. The absence of clear lines of accountability has created an environment where mismanagement can flourish, eroding trust and undermining the very foundation of these corporations. In some cases, boards of directors have been dominated by individuals with limited experience or expertise in corporate governance, leading to poor decision-making and a lack of strategic direction. The absence of robust internal controls and independent audits has further exacerbated these problems, creating opportunities for financial irregularities and the misappropriation of funds. The resulting lack of transparency has fueled suspicion and distrust within the community, further weakening the corporation's ability to operate effectively. The failure to establish clear and transparent governance processes has also hindered the ability of Noongar corporations to engage effectively with external stakeholders. This has hampered their ability to secure funding, negotiate partnerships, and advocate for the interests of the Noongar community. The lack of effective communication and consultation with community members has further alienated the very people these corporations were intended to serve. Addressing these governance failures is essential for restoring trust and ensuring the long-term viability of Noongar corporations. Implementing robust governance frameworks, promoting transparency, and ensuring accountability are crucial steps towards creating organizations that are truly representative of and responsive to the needs of the Noongar community. This requires a commitment to ongoing training and capacity building for board members and staff, as well as the establishment of independent oversight mechanisms. Financial mismanagement has been a significant factor in the struggles faced by many Noongar corporations. Instances of misappropriation of funds, questionable investments, and a lack of financial transparency have eroded community trust and undermined the financial stability of these organizations. The failure to properly manage financial resources has deprived the Noongar community of much-needed investments in essential services and economic development initiatives. In some cases, funds intended for community development projects have been diverted to other purposes, leaving communities without the promised benefits. Lack of oversight and inadequate financial controls have created opportunities for fraud and embezzlement, further depleting the resources available for community programs. The resulting financial instability has jeopardized the long-term viability of these corporations and their ability to fulfill their mandate. The absence of clear financial reporting mechanisms has made it difficult for community members to understand how funds are being used and whether they are being managed responsibly. This lack of transparency has fueled suspicion and distrust, further damaging the relationship between the corporations and the communities they are meant to serve. The inability to demonstrate responsible financial management has also hampered the ability of these corporations to secure external funding and partnerships. Restoring financial stability and rebuilding community trust requires a commitment to transparent and accountable financial practices. Implementing robust financial management systems, conducting regular audits, and ensuring independent oversight are crucial steps towards creating financially sustainable organizations. Equally important is the need to engage with community members and provide clear and accessible information about financial performance and investment decisions. Section 4. Unfulfilled promises: the gap between expectation and reality. The establishment of Noongar corporations generated high expectations within the community. These organizations were seen as a means of achieving self-determination, economic prosperity, and the revitalization of cultural heritage. However, the failure of many corporations to deliver on these promises has led to widespread disillusionment and a sense of betrayal within the Noongar community. The gap between expectation and reality has created a deep rift between the corporations and the people they were intended to serve. The inability of many corporations to effectively manage native title lands and resources has deprived communities of potential economic benefits. Failed business ventures, poorly negotiated agreements, and a lack of investment in sustainable development initiatives have left many communities struggling with high unemployment, limited economic opportunities, and persistent poverty. The failure to deliver on the promise of economic prosperity has deepened the sense of marginalization and disenfranchisement within the Noongar community. Similarly, the failure to invest in cultural preservation programs has undermined efforts to revitalize and transmit Noongar language, arts, and traditions to future generations. The lack of resources dedicated to cultural initiatives has hindered the ability of communities to maintain their cultural identity and strengthen their connection to their ancestral lands. This has had a profound impact on the social and emotional well-being of Noongar people, particularly young people who are at risk of losing their cultural heritage. Bridging the gap between expectation and reality requires a fundamental shift in the way Noongar corporations operate. A renewed focus on community engagement, transparent decision-making, and a commitment to delivering tangible benefits is essential for rebuilding trust and restoring faith in the potential of these organizations. This requires a willingness to listen to the concerns of community members, address past grievances, and work collaboratively towards a shared vision for the future. Section 5. Pros of failures: seeds of change and reform. While the failures of Noongar corporations have undoubtedly had a negative impact on the community, they have also created opportunities for learning and growth. The shortcomings of these organizations have highlighted the need for stronger governance structures, more transparent financial practices, and greater community involvement in decision-making processes. The lessons learned from these failures can inform the development of more effective and sustainable models of self-governance. The struggles faced by Noongar corporations have also raised awareness of the challenges inherent in navigating the complex intersection of Indigenous self-determination and mainstream corporate structures. This has led to a greater understanding of the need for culturally appropriate governance models that reflect the values and traditions of Noongar communities. The experience of these corporations has provided valuable insights into the importance of balancing economic development with cultural preservation and environmental sustainability. The failures of some corporations have also spurred the emergence of new leaders and organizations within the Noongar community. These individuals and groups are committed to advocating for greater accountability and transparency within existing corporations and exploring alternative models of self-government. The emergence of these new voices represents a renewed commitment to self-determination and a desire to create organizations that are truly representative of and responsive to the needs of the community. The challenges faced by Noongar corporations have also prompted greater collaboration and knowledge sharing among Indigenous communities across Australia. This has created opportunities for learning from each other's experiences, sharing best practices, and developing strategies for strengthening Indigenous governance structures. The growing network of Indigenous organisations and leaders represents a powerful force for positive change and a renewed commitment to achieving self-determination. Section 6. Cons of failures, deepening disillusionment and loss. The failures of Noongar corporations have had a profound and lasting impact on the Noongar community. The inability of these organisations to deliver on their promises has led to widespread disillusionment, eroding trust in leadership and creating a sense of hopelessness about the future. The loss of faith in these institutions has had a ripple effect throughout the community, impacting social cohesion and undermining efforts to achieve self-determination. The financial mismanagement and unfulfilled promises have also resulted in significant economic losses for the Noongar community. Missed opportunities for economic development, the depletion of resources, and the failure to create sustainable livelihoods have exacerbated existing inequalities and deepened the cycle of poverty. The economic consequences of these failures have had a devastating impact on the well-being of Noongar families and communities. The struggles faced by Noongar corporations have also contributed to a sense of cultural erosion. The failure to invest in cultural preservation programs has hindered efforts to revitalise and transmit Noongar language, arts and traditions to future generations. The loss of cultural knowledge and practices has weakened the cultural identity of Noongar people and their connection to their ancestral land. The negative experiences with Noongar corporations have also created a sense of apathy and disengagement within the community. Many people have become disillusioned with the process of self-governance and are reluctant to participate in community initiatives. This loss of trust and engagement has made it more difficult to mobilise community support for future development projects and has hampered efforts to build a strong and vibrant Noongar community.